All right, so now we've charted out some rhythms, right? We've charted out some different ways to divide rhythms. We've talked about some 3/4. We've talked about some 6/8. Now we're going to talk about the difference between 3/4 and 6/8. Okay? So in 3/4, we're the way we're dividing up the measure is into 3/8 of time, right? Or if we divide those up into eighth notes, 3 groups of 2, right? So we're thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and, okay? In 6/8, we're dividing the measure into into 2 groups of 3/8 notes, right? So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's label those. All right, so you will notice that there's the same number of eighth notes in each measure, right? They're exactly the same. The amount of time that goes by in one measure versus the other measure is exactly the same, okay? Where 3/4 and 6/8 are different is in how the eighth notes are grouped, right? Or how we feel the divisions of the beats, right? In 3/4, we're feeling it in 3 groups, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. In 6/8, we're feeling it in 2 groups, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it has kind of that triplety feel. 6/8 has kind of the triplety feel. The groups of 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whereas 3/4 has the groups of 2 sort of feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So now let's look at a couple different rhythms in each time signature that's the same rhythm but feels a little bit differently depending on what the time signature is. And hopefully this will clear up why we have both of these time signatures. All right, so you can see what I have here is 2 identical rhythms with different time signatures. Okay, so let's count each of these out. So let's think about 3/4. This is beat 1. This is going to be beat 2, right? And because there's an eighth note on beat 2, this is going to be the second half of beat 2, which is going to be and, right? And then this is going to be the second half of beat 3, which is going to be and. I'll put our 3 in parentheses. All right, so the way we would count that is 1, 2, and, right? 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and. Okay? In 6/8, the same rhythm. This would be beat 1, right? Remember, we're counting by the eighth note now. So this would be beat 1 and also 2. This would be beat 3. This would be beat 4. We would hold through 5, and this would be beat 6, right? So we end up with 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6. And you can see it's a completely different feeling rhythm, even though it's exactly the same, right? 1, 2, and. 1, 2, and. Versus 1, 3, 4, 6. 1, 3, 4, 6, right? This rhythm in 3/4 has kind of a syncopated feel to it, right? 1, 2, and 1, 2, and, with a lot of ands on it. In 6/8, it kind of has a lilty, kind of a waltzy feel to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1. All right, here's one more rhythm that uses some 16th notes, which will hopefully be helpful. And you can see, even though it looks quite a bit different, it is still the same rhythm. Eighth note, 2 16th notes, 2 eighth notes, 2 16th notes, and 1 more eighth note. In 3/4, this is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3 and. And then in 6/8, this is going to be beat 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's that really common rhythm we talked about earlier. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So you can see the difference between those two rhythms is 1 and a 2 and 3 en versus 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay? So exact same combination of notes, completely different feeling. All right, well, there are some differences between 3/4 and 6/8. I really enjoy talking about rhythms and how that makes music more interesting. And I hope that you've enjoyed it as well. And I hope that it helps you along when you encounter these different time signatures. Enjoy, and I'll see you next time.